Hello everybody, back here again for our vlog a day. Today is Sunday the 15th, and today was a lovely, beautiful day to be alive. Got up this morning earlier than I wanted to, but it is what it is. That Rottweiler has not been giving me the ability to get a real good night's sleep, but it happens. So I've been doing the best to keep her at least content enough and quiet enough that my wife is getting as much rest as she can get. So that's the biggest priority, because with her healing and her leg and that kind of thing and whatnot, that's what we have to deal with. So she got up this morning though, got the dogs all out, got her be all kind of chilled out, kept them all quiet. Wife got up, started moving around a little bit, and was able to get the dogs all fed, get all the medication and all that good fun stuff. Everything was good to go. Everything's easy peasy. We're happy. Everything's going along just smooth, and just kind of chilling out for the day. Didn't really have a lot going on this morning. Giving back a couple of the dogs. We're going home. They wanted to pick up about 10 a.m. I said it should be no problem at all. They reached out, gave me a heads up time frame. Everything was good to go. They came, picked the dogs up. Dogs were happy to see them. The one dog is super skittish, and the other dog is super rambunctious. So the new one is the rambunctious one. And it was funny because the skittish one, and I love the skittish one. She is amazing. She's a Greyhound Dalmatian mix thing that is just absolutely just adorable. If I get her over that skittishness, I could see keeping her, but holy crap, she's scared of everything. And to the point that I, ironically enough, actually leave an extra leash on her when she's here, because sometimes she'll just decide to take off and run from me. I figured out a couple ways to kind of coax her into me and get her to come to me and stuff, but often she will freak out and take off. But if I can get her close to me, I can step on the leash, and then what I do is multiple times throughout the day, I'll call her over to me, give her some little head scratchings, little chin rubbings and stuff, and then basically send her on the way. So she's not being forced to do anything she didn't want to do. She's like, oh, that wasn't so bad. So I do that like 25 times a day, and it adds up to a lot. Like it's sometimes, like it's 4 times in an hour. Like it's amazing, like how many times it happens. And then she's like, it's not that bad. You petted this guy. So it works out real well. So I give him back the dog, and the woman is just ecstatic because she's letting the husband pet the dog. So the dog is like legitimately for the first time, like the way it sounds like he's never petted that dog yet. And I'm like, oh yeah, just pet her. Don't think about it, just pet her. Which I thought he petted the dog last time they picked her up, but maybe not. So who knows? But yeah, went ahead and I'm like, just don't think about it, just pet her. But we got the dogs all put in the car, everything's good to go. They picked up both dogs. They headed out, everything was hunky-dory, everything was fine. So they took off from there, had a few other things around the house to get done, just kind of hang around for the morning, waiting around. I did finally, later in the day, actually the middle of the day, my wife decided she's been feeling really sickly, and she's got some, I don't know what the heck's all going on, but she's feeling like crap. She thinks she's like a couple times like she feels like she wants to die kind of thing. It's not been good. She didn't even have, it's not good. So it was kind of a bad night for that too. So she reached out and said, if I don't get to feeling better, I'm gonna go to urgent care. So she basically did a little research and called up the doctor's office stuff and whatnot, and they recommended her to go to urgent care, recommended the one in Port Orange, and told them about the insurance stuff. Like, yep, that's the closest one to you. So okay, no big deal. So she looked online, and I guess you can make an appointment with urgent care, which doesn't like guarantee a walk-in appointment, but it can at least start your ball running of, hey, we're this far out, this is what we have open. So we're like, okay. So she makes an appointment, everything's good to go. I get all the dogs all situated, so I got 2 gone. So now I got all the rest of the dogs all getting along fine, except one of them Cosmo gets a little bit carried away. He gets to play a little too hard in the house. So I told Mom, if I need to, you can kick him in the bedroom or kick him outside, and then he'll be fine out there. He really likes to actually be outside, more likes to be in the house, but he is playing pretty wild and crazy. But yeah, so we head up for our appointment, and she gives me this like the time frame, like they want you here by blah blah blah. So we get there, we get in the car, we head up. Did not bring the wheelchair because she walked out with a walker, and she wanted the walker for sure. And we get there, and we realize as we walk in that we should have brought the wheelchair, because they have to fill all the paperwork out. And we're there. They told us to be there 20 minutes before our actual appointment was. We showed up by 10 minutes for that, so we're half an hour early. And they said they're running at least an hour and a half behind. I'm like, are you shitting me? Like, we're 30 fucking minutes away. Like, you could have told us that 30 minutes ago, and we could have stayed home for the extra hour and a half. At this point, 2 hours, because we're still half an hour before our appointment. Could have stayed home. Even if we stayed home for a single hour, it would have made a difference. Looked at my wife and said, damn, if we at least brought like the wheelchair, we could have went and could have pushed around Lowe's or something and did some Halloween decoration shopping or some shit. But we're filling out all the paperwork, we're doing the whole thing. We're just, it is what it is. So yeah, we're going through there, getting it all best we can do. And then she gets the insurance. She goes, oh no, we don't take your insurance. And I'm like, what? And they're like, they sent us here. She goes, yeah, they do that to us all the time. And we don't take this. These such and such doctors are constantly sending people over here all the time, and we don't take your insurance. But by instead of asking that question first, especially if you come in front of those doctors as a thing, but why not have that information on the fill out the form for your appointment kind of thing? Because now we've wasted a couple hours. One, to drive up and back is an hour time stuff. We're going to do there. But we could have been on the list for another place hours ago when we've been on the list for this place. Oh my God, you got to be shitting me. So we look around, find out there's two more semi-close to where we are that do take her insurance. And I'm like, it was in that weird time frame, even like the hour and a half wait. Because if they say they're an hour and a half out, it's going to be at least 2 hours out. And I'm like, God damn, is it worth? I definitely don't want to make her sit in a chair that's super uncomfortable without a place to prop her leg up and stuff for 2 damn hours sitting in a sick waiting room. And I'm like, God, I don't know. And is it worth driving home, hanging out in the house for an hour, and then driving back up? Because if we get that far away and they're like, oh, we got an opening, we can see you right now because everybody else left and we're not on schedule. Now we miss our appointment because we're not close enough. So we said, hell, head over to another place and just had us take walk-ins. No appointment, no nothing, walk in. There's a couple ahead of us and fill out the paperwork, fill out the insurance. It was good to go. And they told us that there's only one doctor on staff there today also, but they're not real busy and they'll get with us shortly. So hung around there. She went ahead and had a couple other things to get taken care of and fill out all the paperwork, got all that all done. And then sitting around, she went back for the appointment, came back out, got her prescription called in, everything that she needs. And then as we were heading out, I look at my watch and I'm like, you do realize that we are already heading home and we would not even met their shortest time frame of the other place. And this was a walk-in, no appointment, no nothing needed. And so we've given up 4 hours for that place that didn't see us, that we could have came here to begin with. She goes, yep, that's how life goes. And I'm like, holy crap, that's crazy. So yeah, I was like, okay, that's cool, whatever. So head on back home, ask her if she wants to stop anywhere and get something to eat. She has something to eat. And I said, I usually don't eat lunches and stuff, but I thought, depending on where you go, I might grab something. And my pick is almost always, when it comes like that road food, which technically I don't know if that counts as road food. I'm a couple of towns up, but I'm a big fan of like Taco Bell. I don't know why. Taco John's, if it's around, there's no one around here. So that's a big one for me. I like Arby's, I like the curly fries. I'll often just order a big batch, like a large batch of curly fries, and you get some dipping sauce, and that's for my whole meal. But she wanted to go to Culver's, so did a little U-turn, headed back towards Culver's. Got there. She ordered like a butter burger thing, meal thing, whatever it was. And then I got the mushrooms with single patty, which was $7. I was like, holy shit. Our whole meal was like 14 bucks, 15 bucks like that. I was like, God damn. Like I gave her a 20 and she gave back a 5 and some pennies. And I was like, damn, that seemed like a lot. But then this little Swiss burger thing was, the mushrooms were not hot. Like they just like come out of the can. And like it warmed up from the meat. The cheese wasn't melted on it. I was not happy. I was not impressed. I was like, whatever. Nobody wants to eat cold mushrooms and cold, Swiss on a now lukewarm burger because the cheese and the mushrooms sucked all the heat out of your burger. So, but oh well. She was happy with her food. They got those crinkle cut fries, which are the absolute worst in the market. I hate those. They're so gross. She loves them, so she got those. Knocked that out. Head on back home. Get to the house. Get the dogs all outside. I rush in quick, get the dogs put outside in the yard so she doesn't have to worry about letting a dog out the door, trying to get her in, and also she don't get knocked down, because that's my big concern, is somebody knocking her down while she's walking around. So we did on the way back, swung by the pharmacy. They had her prescription ready, which sucks because I have to actually go inside to do, because apparently I asked them how long they're gonna get this fixed. Because, well, we fix it, but it keeps breaking because our roof leaks and then it ruins the board. I'm like, so fix the goddamn roof. You guys make money. You're a fucking Walgreens pharmacy. You guys have money. Like, what the hell? But yeah, so apparently now I gotta look into changing. I don't use that pharmacy much. Mom uses them and whatnot, but I hate going inside to use the pharmacy because it's a pain in the ass. One, it always takes way longer inside than it does in the drive-through, and two, I just hate being around all the sick people who are there spreading all the germs and shit all over me. So definitely not a fan of that. But got back to the house, got her inside, got her situated, and she was just never really got to feeling good all day. She was just mediocre at best and crappy a lot of the time, and I felt bad for her. There's nothing I could really do for her, so decided I was going to go get my run in. I needed to go over and drop off some drill bits for the guy that's putting my brakes in my truck and my air conditioning, and it's getting way too long. It's had the truck way too long, to the point that I'm starting to get a little bit annoyed by the fact how long he's had it. Hopefully he hurries up and gets the shit done, because I want to get my truck back. So went and dropped the drill bits off, and he's something about coming tomorrow to verify it. I'm like, dude, just put them where they call for, templates. I was gonna actually move them around. I was gonna try and make it a little more customized. So I'm like, I don't give a shit. Just put them there where the templates come from, where they say to put them in, and just get it over with. But I went and did buy the proper size drill bits so we can drill exact size holes we need, and not have them in there trying to jigsaw it out and scratching the shit out of my dash and screwing it all up, let's just say. So hopefully we can get that figured out. We'll get that drilled out and good to go. He told me to stop by tomorrow. I'm like, well, if I can. I said I gotta take my wife to physical therapy in the morning, but it's before you're here. But if you're here early in the morning, you want to take her, I will swing by. If not, I got other stuff to do. So got back there, I left him, dropped off the bits. I decided to go run the trails, so took off and ran basically it's a biking trail. It's a flat blacktop path, whatever, but some different scenery. So I ran it, ran all the way down, saw a family, 2 little girls and a dog, husband and wife, I'm assuming. There's 4 of them. That was male, female, and 2 little girls. And as I turned around and came back, and they had stopped and taken a little break, and they were heading down the trail, and I actually caught up to them because I was running faster than they were riding their bikes. And the mother's in the back. She tells the little one to get over, so she gets over. The dad hears her, and the dog get over, and I go by. And the little girl up front, the dad hollers her to get over, let me by. And the little girl up front decides she's gonna race me. And her little single-speed bike, she's just pedaling and pedaling and pedaling. And I was picking up pace on him pretty quick when I caught him. But I don't think she realized how far we're getting away from our family, because now she's like, we're quite a ways ahead. Like, we're 20, 30 yards ahead of the parents right now. And at this point, unless the dad just openly screams, she's not going to, hear them most likely. So I'm like, ask her it. So we was saying her stuff, and as I'd laughed, because the girl took off when I heard her say get over, and she took off pedaling harder. I said, I think somebody's racing me. And the dad laughed, goes, well, it shouldn't be too hard to beat her, or she shouldn't have a hard time beating you. She's on a bike. I was like, I'll see. She's a little kid, and we'll see what happens. Senior stuff, and she pooped out before I did, and I thought, she's gonna have a hard time getting my back to the parking lot, but it is what it is. So went ahead, I basically finished my run, beat her, and then she left demoralized, as she should be. So I had a good little chuckle laugh at that. Got done with my mile, the running part, just walking it out at the end, and I kind of went out of the way and come back to get my mileage in. As I got back there, getting on a motorcycle, they were loading up, and I almost stopped and said, hey, you want to race? Kind of thing. But I thought, well, they don't know who I am. I'm just some weird guy asking, children if they want to race. Seems kind of strange. So I was like, nah, I'll just keep on going. So went ahead and headed on home, got my shower, hung out with the dogs, ended up having hamburger helper, I can't think of what it's called, like a beef stroganoff hamburger helper flavor thing. Knocked that out, and I was gonna do soup, but by the time I got a shower and anything else, they were sitting down ready to eat. I thought, well, it takes me like 6 minutes for to make my soup. So I said, screw it. So I'm making them wait 6 minutes and their food get cold. I just ate the hamburger helper, and not a fan. So hopefully tomorrow there's enough for leftovers, and then I'll have time to heat that up. I'll heat the soup up, and we'll call it a day. So from there, headed back out, hang out with the dogs and stuff. Everything was good to go. Ended up having another dog request that falls over my cruise time, so turned down another dog stay, which always sucks, because that just it's one of those things, especially on a new request, when they're like, well, maybe he just always turns down shit, kind of thing. But at least they got to see my quick response. They got to see my professionalism in the whole way I handle it and that whole thing, as opposed to if I had the date blocked, they just would never knew I exist. They would never saw me, would never popped up, would never saw my hundreds of reviews and that kind of thing that are there. So when they have a bad experience with their next rover setter, which is a good likelihood from what I've been hearing, there's a lot of bad ones around, but they had a bad experience with that, maybe they'll come back and give me another chance, and then we can go from there. So yeah, I got that done, hung out there, finally went ahead and got the printer running, another print overnight, and then I headed in, watched a little bit of Netflix with my wife when she was still feeling like crap, and get the dogs all situated as best I could, and wrapped it up and called it a night. So that's all I got right now. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe, wonderful day. Thanks for watching.